Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Iqra, Technologywali, and I am a student at Rehan School. Conduct with Maya.
What's on your mind
Short interview with Maya. So let's start. Assalamu alaikum, Maya.
today? How's it going? What's on your mind today?
Maya, my topic is explore the concept of mindset. My first question: what is the meaning of mindset?
Basically, your mindset is the lens you use to see the world. It's the collection of beliefs and attitudes you've built up over time that shape how you interpret everything, from a mistake at work to a random compliment. It basically dictates how you react to life. Does that make sense, or were you thinking of it in a more specific way?
What is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by first mindset and both mindset. Could you explain those terms a bit more?
How does a fixed mindset affect personal development?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you say it again? I'm still not following. Could you try phrasing that differently?
Why is a growth mindset important for success?
Yeah, it's huge. A growth mindset is basically the belief that your abilities aren't set in stone, that you can actually get smarter or more skilled through effort and practice. When you believe you can evolve, you stop seeing failure as a dead end and start seeing it as data. It turns I can't do this into I can't do this yet, which is a massive shift when you're trying to hit a big goal. Do you feel like you lean more towards that, or do you struggle with feeling like some things are just not your thing?
Can people change from a fixed mindset to growth mindset? How?
I think you're asking if you can move from a fixed mindset to one of hope or growth, right? Totally. It's not like a switch you just flip, but more of a habit you build. The trick is catching yourself when you have those I'm just not good at this thoughts and intentionally challenging them. Instead of letting that fixed thought win, you ask yourself, what's one small thing I can learn here to get better? Do you have a specific area in your life where you feel stuck in that fixed mindset right now?
What habit helped develop a growth mindset?
I think you might mean growth mindset rather than market, right? If so, the best way to develop one is by focusing on the process rather than just the result. Instead of praising yourself for being smart or talented, focus on the effort, the strategy you used, or the persistence you showed. Also, try, try leaning into things that make you feel like a beginner, the stuff that's actually a bit uncomfortable. That's usually where the most growth happens. Does that sound like something you could incorporate into your routine, or does that feel a bit too daunting?
How does failure affect someone with a fixed mindset compared
I'm
to
sorry, I didn't
someone
catch.
with a growth mindset?
Someone with a growth mindset sees a challenge as a puzzle to solve, while someone with a fixed mindset sees it as a test of their worth. If they both fail a test, for example, the person with a fixed mindset thinks, I'm just not good at this, and they usually give up to avoid feeling stupid. But the person with a growth mindset thinks, my current strategy didn't work, and they'll look for a new way to study. One is focused on looking smart, the other is focused on actually getting smarter. Do you find yourself reacting more like one or the other when things get tough?
We are accepting challenges important for growth.
Definitely. Accepting challenges is where the hope actually comes from because it proves to you that you're capable of handling things you didn't think you could. When you stop avoiding the hard stuff and actually step into it, you start trusting yourself more. It's that shift from, I hope this doesn't happen, to, I know I can figure this out. Do you think you've been avoiding any challenges lately, or are you in a phase where you're actively seeking them out?
How can positive thinking sports our growth mindset?
I think you're asking how positive thinking supports a growth mindset, right? Positive thinking is like the fuel for the engine. A growth mindset is the belief that you can improve, but positive thinking is what gives you the energy to actually try. It's the voice that tells you, this is hard, but I've handled hard things before, which keeps you from quitting when the progress feels slow. Without that optimism, it's easy to slip back into a fixed mindset the second you hit a wall. Do you find it easy to stay positive when you're learning something new, or do you get discouraged quickly?
What role does effort play in achieving success?
Effort is the bridge between having potential and actually achieving something. Talent can give you a head start, but effort is what gets you across the finish line. In a growth mindset, effort isn't seen as a sign that you lack natural ability. It's seen as the actual path to mastery. Basically, the work is where the growth happens. Do you feel like you're usually someone who puts in the grind, or do you sometimes find it hard to stay motivated when the effort doesn't show immediate results?
How can teachers encourage students to develop a growth mindset?
The biggest thing is changing how they give feedback. Instead of saying, you're so smart or you're a natural, which actually reinforces a fixed mindset, they should praise the process. Things like, I love how you tried three different ways to solve that problem, or your hard work on this draft really paid off. They should also normalize mistakes, literally treating them as brain growth moments rather than failures. When a student gets something wrong, the teacher can frame it as a clue for what to learn next. Do you think that approach would have changed how you felt about any of your own subjects in school?
How our growth mindset improve problem solving skills and experience?
A growth mindset completely changes how you handle a problem. Instead of looking at a difficult task and thinking, I don't have the skills for this, you see it as an opportunity to acquire those skills. And it turns problem solving into an experiment. When you've had that experience of struggling with something, failing a few times, and then finally cracking it, it builds a kind of cognitive confidence. You start to realize that the struggle itself is actually the process of learning. It makes you more resilient and way more creative because you're not afraid to try a weird solution that might not work. Have you ever had a moment where you were totally stuck on something, but pushing through it actually made you feel more capable in the end?
Okay, fine, thank you. Take care.
You still there?